How flawless is that? Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video we are finally looking at all of the new makeup from Essence. Finally, I know I've been taking so much time to really test these products, and today I'm going to be telling you what I think is worth it and what I think you can skip. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. We are going to start off with the brows. Now, I did fill in my brows already, but don't worry, I have recorded it. I had to go out this morning, so I couldn't go out with any eyebrows on. Okay, so I'm just going to insert that footage for you. So the products that I filled my eyebrows in with is this Microblading Brow Brush Liner from Essence. This has become my new holy grail, and it only retails for about $3.25. If you can believe that. It has this really nice fine tip, but it's not too fine. So you do have to be careful when you are putting this on that you don't press too hard, because it can be a little bit like a felt tip. And the one thing I'm going to tell you about this is how budge proof it is. It's the most budge proof eyebrow pen I've ever had. So my other most budge proof eyebrow pen is the Glossier Brow Flick. This is even more budge proof, honestly. There are 4 shades to choose from, and I have it in the shade dark brown. Just make sure that you shake it really well before you use it. Top class, top tier product. So the next product is the Essence Brow Lift and Freeze Glue. So I am a really big fan of brow glues, and this has definitely taken its place as being one of my favorites. Just for reference, my other favorite is the Maybelline Superlock Brow Glue and the NYX Crazy Lift. This is fantastic. So this retails for about $4.75, and it is clear. So this is how it looks. It's a little bit like the e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel. So you actually have the product on one side, but you actually have 2 little spoolies on the other end that you can use. I don't know why, but I never use the spoolies that come with these. Don't know what my problem is, but I really like this because it has a waxy type texture. So more of a glue than a gel, and they just suit my eyebrows a little bit better because they cling onto any little brow hair that you might have, and I don't have many. So I need something that's going to give me faker looking fuller brows, if that makes sense. Once this dries down, no white cast, no stickiness, no heaviness, doesn't feel crunchy or tacky, and definitely not shiny, because if it was, I would hate it. I think it's an absolutely fantastic product, and for less than a $5. Amazing. So I have already prepped my skin. I went in with the Bioma Milky Toner and my Embryolisse Moisturiser / primer. However, we're going to go in with a specific primer now from Essence. Now, this is a product that I have grown to like. I didn't like it when I first used it, and the first couple of times I used it, but I persevered. So this is the Essence Bouncy Plump Smoothing Primer. So it's basically just a hydrating primer. So it retails for about $4.79, and you get 30 ml of product. That's just 2 little pumps. It's a water-based primer in a cooling sorbet-like texture, and it has a watermelony scent. Now, it's not an overpowering scent, and despite the colour, it does dry down to nothing. Now, it's the texture. It has the texture of a foaming cleanser, and sometimes you can see the foaming on your skin. Can you see? I don't know if you can see it there. And at first I thought that it was interfering with my moisturiser, that maybe I didn't leave enough time between steps. But no, I had moisturised over an hour ago, and so everything has dried down. I don't think that this is going to help with longevity in your makeup. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot other than feel really nice, cooling, and it does feel hydrating. Now, there was only one day, was it yesterday? I wore this, and for the first time, I wore it just on one side of my face, and I could definitely see a significant difference with how good the foundation looked on one side than the other. But can you see, it looks like it's pilling on my forehead. It's a funny one, this. I don't really understand it. I mean, if you have super dry skin, it can feel a little nice, but it doesn't feel totally moisturizing, if that makes sense. But it is free from silicones and alcohol. And if you just like a bit of a hydrated step in your routine, you may enjoy it. But I don't think it's a necessary step. We are going to be going in on the eyes first, and we are going to be using this new eyeshadow primer from Essence. This is the Jelly Grip Eyeshadow Primer, which is long lasting and intensifying and will help your eyeshadow to remain crease free. So this retails for $3.59 and you get 4 ml of product. And yeah, it is kind of just clear. Now, here's the thing, right? If I use an eyeshadow primer, I tend to use one like the Urban Decay Primer Potion that has a little bit of colour to it because I like to even out my eyelids. Because as you can see, I've got really, really veiny eyelids and a very veiny brow bone. So I need that to be kind of evened out before I go in with eyeshadow. This isn't going to give you any evening out. This is just going to give you longevity in your eyeshadow. And it is a really, really nice eyeshadow primer, and it is a little bit tacky, but not too tacky. Now I'm just going to go and even out my brow bone and then we'll go and pop this on. Okay, so now I'll just pop a little bit of this on, and you need to wait at least a minute before you start going in with your eyeshadow. And you can use a brush for this if you want, but there really isn't any need to. Just don't over apply it. It feels really cooling. And this is great for if you're using shimmer, you know, if you're using maybe a metallic, because it will help to just stick everything down. But it's not too tacky, so it's not too bad. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a little second. Now I do have a bunch of eyeshadows from Essence, new ones. Now I picked up 4 of these. These are the new cream eyeshadows. Now I'm not going to use these today because I've used them so many times on the channel already, but these are absolutely fantastic. So these retail for about €4 and they are just fantastic. I've got many videos where I've used these. Now I decided to pick up an eyeshadow palette. This is the Rose Edition eyeshadow palette and this retails for about $4.99. So here's what it looks like. And I'm going to include some swatches for you to look at that I took. I'm going to say that the metallics in here are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but the mattes are not up to a whole lot. I'm going to be honest with you. So I wouldn't be expecting intense payoff from this nude eyeshadow palette. If you're expecting super intense mattes, you're not going to get it. Some of these shades literally don't even show up. To be honest, it was very hard for me to swatch these for you, if I'm completely honest, but we're going to go in and do our best with it. Now, I did pick up one of the new One and Done shadows. These are the Mono Eyeshadow Glitter eyeshadows, and these retail for €2. So I may use one of those over the top. We'll see. So I think I'm going to start by going in with this pinky shade here, and I'm going to use my Morphe M333, and they have a little bit dusty, but when they go on, you know, they're nice. They are nice. The mattes are the biggest disappointment in this palette for me. I think if you're looking for something a bit soft, you know, ethereal, looking for some one and dones in an eyeshadow palette, then I think you would enjoy it. But it's not something that I think that you really need in your collection, because again, if you compare this to one of the Catrice eyeshadow palettes, there is a difference. There really is. Just going to use my Morphe M383 and I'm just going to bring that shade carefully under the lash line. Just need to be careful when palettes are a little bit on the dusty side because they'll end up all over your face. I'm going to go in with my Morphe M331. I'm just going to go into that deepest shade. Now this does have pigment to it, but again, it's dusty. Can you see that? I think if I was you, I would just maybe put that $5 into one of the cream eyeshadows because they are phenomenal. So good, honestly. I'm going to go into this metallic here. Say it's a bit of a nudie pink, and I'm just going to bring that on the lid, and that is gorgeous. It has loads of payoff, And I think the eyeshadow primer does help as well. But even when I swatched on my arm, it has a lovely finish. It makes a great one and done actually. This palette is worth it for the metallics on its own because they are just beautiful. But the mattes, nah, not for me. I'm going to use my Real Techniques 307 brush. It's just a little brush. And I'm going into this lightest kind of metallic here. I'm just going to bring it here. I mean, honestly, I think this is supposed to be a really soft palette. I think I'm going to use this, the Mono Glitter eyeshadow. This is a stunning eyeshadow. It is very wet looking. So again, this is the shade Rosy Sparkle. And yeah, it claims to have a radiant metallic finish. Just at the bottom in the center of the eye. Because why not? It's very, very beautiful. If you like wet looking eyeshadows, you will love that. And actually, I would pick something like this over the Moon Dust from Urban Decay. That is stunning. And for £2, what? So I did pick up an eyeliner. This is the Essence Satin Blend Gel Eyeliner. So it has the product on one side and it has a smudger on the other. This retails for £3.59 and I have this in the shade Rich Burgundy. Be careful because sometimes the products just pop out a little bit. Now, this is so creamy. So I wouldn't be tempted to use it. I mean, I don't do wings, so I ain't going to do one today. But if you like to do wings with eyeliner, I'm not sure about this because it's so creamy. And I think that it would be fairly movable around the eye, especially if you've got watery eyes. And that's the shade. Can you see that pigment? I'm just going to pop some directly on the lash line. So yes, very pigmented, but very, very creamy, very easy to blend out. Just be careful with it. I think it would move around a bit on watery eyes. So yeah, just be a little bit careful, but it's an absolutely beautiful product. Oh my goodness. So gorgeous. I'll use a little bit under the lash line. But again, I just don't want it to smudge. We are going to clean that up, so don't worry. I'm actually thinking about this eyeshadow again, the wet looking one. I'm wondering what it'll be like if we actually wet it. So I'm just going to take a bit on my finger. And I'm just going to take some spray and just give it a little spray. Oh, that definitely intensifies it, doesn't it? I love a good wet looking eyeshadow. So just to wrap up the eyeshadow, I'm going to be real. I don't think you need this. I think you will be disappointed with the mattes. The metallics are beautiful and I guess worth the £5 alone. But I think you need to be able to use everything in there, don't you? Whether it's a £5 or not. I think these little eyeshadows, these glitter shadows that are more kind of wet looking, absolutely insane, beautiful, wow. And these cream shadows, I have pretty much every colour now and they are completely worth it. And I really like this little eyeliner. I think it's great, really highly pigmented, really super creamy, absolutely worth every single penny. So definitely some hits and misses, but I think this glitter eyeshadow, wow. So my all-time favourite mascara on the planet is the original Essence Lash Without Limits. I love this. I have been through tubes and tubes of it. It's just amazing. So I obviously picked up this, which is the Essence Lash Without Limits tubing version. This retails for about €4. And I know I'm going to upset some people here. I don't really like it. I know, I'm going to probably lose friends now because people love this. I don't really like it. It's too wet and I've tried it because I thought this has got to be a me problem, right? Because everybody loves this mascara and I love the original so much, but this just doesn't do anything for me. I don't like how my eyelashes look with this on. I'm so sorry, I know. But the one benefit of that is it's completely budge proof, okay? It's the next best thing to a waterproof mascara. So today we are going in with the newest Essence mascara that they've released. This is the Watch the Length mascara. I did use this in a previous video, so this is not new information on my channel. So this also retails for €4 and it has a super duper skinny winny little wand. And I don't usually like super little skinny ones like this, but this is a really good mascara. I'm going to say to you to wipe off the brush because it doesn't look like there's anything on that brush at all. It looks dry. Look at that. It's not dry. No, it's not dry. It's not dry. Okay, so please make sure that you wipe it off. It retains so much product. Now, I've got quite a bit of fallout on my face from those eyeshadows, so I'm going to have to go and clean that up. See, this is why I do my eyes first. So the way I like to do it is I like to go in at the tips of the lashes and just coat those. And then go in at the base. I've never had a mascara like this before where it literally clings onto every lash that exists on your eye, literally. I've never had such a draggy mascara and I love it. Look at that. I love it. Look at that. It's just dragging them and I just love that because it just stretches out your lashes. It's phenomenal. Now, I do have a suspicion that this flakes on my bottom lashes, which, to be honest, isn't really a new thing when it comes to mascaras. I have pretty watery eyes. I don't have oily eyelids or any oils really on my face, but I definitely have watery eyes. So I just bear that in mind. So with these mascaras, so for this one and the tubing, I like to use the tubing on my bottom lashes because I know it won't budge, and then use this on my top. Now, this isn't going to give you a load of volume at all. It's going to give you length. So just keep that in mind. And I think if you had super long lashes, I don't. If you do, this could make your lashes too long, honestly, because it literally just stretches them, literally. I'm just going to go and match up these eyes and I'll be back in a minute. So I finished off this eye and I did go in with the Essence Lash Without Limits tubing on my bottom lashes. Yeah, I really like this mascara. Again, I think if you have notorious problems with flaking, it might be one that you want to skip because I haven't really figured out if it is flaking on my top lashes. I don't think it is. Don't know as yet, but I just know that I really like this mascara. It lasts super well on me. Like, I wore it for a really long day on Saturday for 15 hours and I didn't have any flaking, but then the next day I felt like I did have a little bit of flaking. I don't know whether it was on my bottom lashes or not. I just don't know. And they have actually brought out a lash serum to go with this mascara, so I did pick that up and I've started using it. So I've been using it about 2 weeks now, so I'll keep you updated. I have been taking some time to test the brand new concealer from Essence. This is the Silky Blur Hydrating Longwear Concealer. This retails for $3.69 and you actually get 10 ml of product, which is actually huge. Honestly, it's a lot for a concealer. So I did pick up 2 shades. So I picked up 150 and 160. So here we have 150, which is for light skin with a warm pink undertone. And here we have 160, light medium skin with a yellow peach undertone. So I did swatch these next to some of my other concealers, so I'll insert those swatches for you now. Today I am going to use 160 because that is the shade that I think suits me best, and I have to say Essence have come a long way with their foundation shades and their concealer shades. It's amazing. So I really love the doe foot applicator. It's slightly angled. It's very, very flexible as well, so it allows you to get right into the inner corner. So this claims to be a medium coverage and it claims to give a soft matte finish. Now, this feels really silky and it feels really serumy, but it does have a high coverage, okay? So don't get fooled into thinking you can apply a load of this, because I have a few times and then I've regretted it. So I'm going to blend it out with my Morphe M131 concealer brush. So this definitely leaves you with a beautiful soft matte finish. It gives amazing coverage, really, really good coverage. I've honestly tested this, tested it. You can see how much coverage it gives. I don't usually get a whole lot of coverage from concealers, to be honest, because especially on this under eye, because it's so bad. Now I think I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with this concealer. So I think it's phenomenal. I think it looks really good under certain parts of my under eye. So I'm going to try and explain this to you, probably badly, but I'll try. This concealer reminds me of the new Charlotte Tilbury concealer, because that one gives me amazing coverage and it looks flawless in certain areas, but under certain areas under my eye it looks really bad, and this is the same. So it looks flawless where my fine lines are. Okay, this does not sit into my fine lines at all. However, it sits into my bigger wrinkles. So I'm definitely developing more wrinkles here and here, and this just sits into them over the course of the day. Now I don't find it to be heavy, I don't find it to be cakey, it just sits into them, and then when I smile you can see the creases. So if a concealer creases here, I find it easy to just pat them out. I don't find it easy to pat creases over here out, if that makes sense. I think we'll go in with a little bit of 150, just maybe here, just to brighten up that little dip that I have there. But I'm going to say, if you don't have a lot of wrinkles under your eyes, this is beautiful. Honestly, it really does live up to that name. So it feels silky and it gives incredible coverage. I'm going to say that it's bordering on a full coverage. Yeah, it is. So I absolutely adore the coverage it gives me. It's one of the best concealers I've ever used for coverage and without looking cakey. If it didn't sit into these lines that I have, it would be perfection, honestly. So it's one of those concealers that I'm going to put in a box with the Charlotte Tilbury where it looks flawless under certain areas of my under eye. But if you were to look at my eyes as the day goes on and see me smiling, you'll see it all sitting into these lines. So yes, it's being nitpicky, but I do have other concealers that don't do that. Oh, it's so close to being perfect. It really is. If I didn't have those lines there, it would be perfection. It would be the best concealer I've ever used in my life. So we're moving on to the product that I'm most excited to talk about today, and this is the foundation that actually matches with the concealer. But this is, it's really, really good. So this is the Silky Blur Hydrating Longwear Foundation. Now on paper, I shouldn't really like this. So it claims to be a soft matte longwear foundation. I anticipated not being able to find my shade in this, so I actually picked up 4 shades. Now, another reason that I picked up 4 shades because I wanted to be able to try and help you out in choosing your shade. But it turns out that the first shade that I chose is absolutely fine. And in terms of my skin tone, I'm light medium and I'm a neutral olive. I always include those details in the description box. So a really, really nice, beautiful glass bottle. We have a pump. That's the first shade, which is 115, which is fair skin with a neutral undertone. That's 115. Then there's 120, which is fair skin with a warm undertone. Then we have 155, which is light medium skin with a warm undertone. And you know what? I could either go for the first one, which is 115, or I can go with that one, which is 155. This one is way too dark, which is 165, light medium skin with warm and neutral undertones. I guess in the summertime, it might be fine. So again, we have 115, 120, 155, and 165. Did I tell you the price? It's $5.69, right? $5.69. It's so good. My skin is the lightest it's going to be during the year. Now, when the sun comes out, we'll start getting a little bit of colour. But for now, my skin is very light. So 115, which I've been wearing. Let's try a bit of 155. Might go for 155 today, actually. I haven't worn that on its own. In fact, I'm just going to blend those in together. So I am going to use my BK Beauty brush for this, my 101 brush. I'm just going to blend those in together. In fact, together they make a really nice colour. So we may as well just do this side now. See that? Effortless. It has a really silky, runny texture and it's so gorgeous to apply. So we're going to use 155. So I didn't think I would like this foundation at all because I definitely prefer glowier foundations and I also have dry skin. So I don't go for matte foundations. However, if there's one thing that I've learned in my time testing makeup, it's that sometimes the description of makeup isn't particularly accurate, okay? So a foundation can say that it's matte, but actually it can be more of a satin. And I'm going to say that I think this is one of the most beautiful foundations I've ever put on my skin. That's one side with nothing. How flawless is that? Oh my gosh. This side on and I'll tell you about the foundation. So this claims to have a silky liquid texture. It offers a natural matte finish with a soft focus effect. It provides buildable medium coverage and blurs imperfections without hiding your glow. And this is fragrance-free, it's alcohol-free, paraben-free, vegan, and it's cruelty-free. This is one of the best drugstore products I've used in a really, really long time. This is what it says on the tin. It's a really silky, beautiful foundation. It feels so lightweight. It's so easy to blend, so easy to work with. This can be a beautiful everyday foundation, but it can also be that long-lasting foundation that you need. It will last you a full 12 hours no matter what you are doing. It gives such a beautiful amount of coverage, so a solid medium, even buildable to full, I would say. There's no oxidizing. Look at the blurring. It doesn't look makeup-y. It doesn't look heavy. This could pass for a high-end luxury foundation. I'm not joking. It really is one of the only foundations I've tried that does give you what it says it's going to give you. So a very soft focus, finish to the skin, but you can still maintain the glow that you want. I couldn't love it any more than what I do. So it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. I love it so, 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 so much. And I think the shades are spot on. I think it's suitable for all skin types. Remember, I have very dry skin. I thought it would be a disaster. Love it. In love with it. So good. Amazing. I just want to talk about these. These are a little bit exciting. These are the new face palettes from Essence. Now, I don't think that these are available yet in the US. They're available over here. I think these cost me €4 each. And I know that people are going to be wanting to know, are they like the Hourglass? I know that that's what I'm going to get asked. And I'm going to say no, not really. I prefer some shades out of the light palette and some shades out of the darker palette. So basically in here you have blush, highlight and bronzer. Now, I really do like this bronzer. It's kind of a luminous type bronzer, but it's not super luminous, but it's really beautiful. I really like this highlighter, but I don't like the blushes. The blushes are, yeah, they leave a lot to be desired, to be honest. Some shades are good, some shades are forgettable. So instead, we're going to go in with this new bronzer from Essence. This is the Soft Touch Butter Bronzer. So this retails for $3.59 and this shade is called Whipped Buttercup. This is actually the lightest shade because I always like to play it safe when it comes to bronzers. But I feel like I could have got, well, I probably should have got a deeper shade. Now, it's really hard to pull up on a swatch, but actually when it's on the face, it looks really nice. So this is a very soft matte bronzer. So I'm going to take my Morphe M162 brush and just dip into that. Now this does have a fragrance. It's a bit coconutty. That's how I would describe the fragrance. This is called Soft Touch for a reason. So it's supposed to look really, really natural. And I like that about it. You know what? These really remind me of the new Say Baked Blushes. But I actually find this one a little bit easier to work with. So I think if you just want a little bit of natural flush, this is perfect. And it's really, really buildable. And now I can't smell the coconut when it's on my face. So that's just something to bear in mind. So that's Whipped Buttercup. Again, I think you can, don't be afraid of getting a deeper shade with this. Now, I think what I'll do is I'm going to go in with this bronzer out of this face palette. So that's the one out of the face palette. But I have worn this and I really liked how it looked. I'll use the same brush and dip into that. See, it just has a little bit more payoff. So yeah, I'd say just research the shades with the soft touch bronzer because, that's very natural and that, there's a lot more payoff over here. So yeah, both bronzers are nice, but I think go for a deeper shade in the soft touch because it's very, very natural, very, very sheer. For blush today, we are going in with these new Soft Touch Bouncy blushes. Oh my gosh, I love these. So did I start off with this one? I think I started off with this shade and then I loved it so much that I went and got a different shade. This is the shade Antique Bloom, described as a very soft vintage nudish rose shade. And then we have Electric Peony, which is a vibrant pink. Oh, so nice. Antique Bloom at the top and Electric Peony on the bottom. That is not as scary as what it looks, by the way. It looks stunning on the skin. Right, I think I'm going to go with I'm going to go with this Antique Bloom. Now this isn't, it says it's a cream to powder blush and it leaves you a very, very soft matte finish, but it's not, it doesn't have a bouncy formula. Some blushes, so for example, the Rare Beauty blushes, the bouncy ones, you can actually press into them, but you can't really with this. But it's a beautiful formula and it must be if it's soft matte, and I love it because I don't like matte blushes. So I'm going to use my BK Beauty 109. This is how I prefer to apply this. I did try with a fluffier brush, but I prefer more of a sturdy, densely packed brush like this. This shade is so beautiful. It just gives a really fresh look to the skin. And I've had this for a while now. In fact, I was going to include it in one of my monthly favorites and I forgot. But, oh, it's so beautiful. And so, yeah, it doesn't feel creamy at all. So if you don't really like creamy feeling blushes, then you can go for this because it just, I don't know what it feels like. Definitely feels a lot more powdery than creamy, I would say. These are stunning. So you're not going to get any glow from these, but you're not going to get dry looking cheeks because if you did, I would hate that. Yeah, I love them. So buildable, so beautiful. And did I tell you the price of them? $2.99. Don't ask me. I don't know how they come up with these really affordable prices. I actually wanted to go in with a little bit of this before I start doing anything else. And this is the Essence Bouncy Plump Hydrating Dewy Spray. So obviously this will bring a bit of life back to the skin if you feel like things are looking a little bit too matte. But I don't find that this is overly dewy at all. So this retails for $4.19. So you can prep with this or you can set with this. But in my experience, it doesn't really do anything for the longevity of my makeup. But it just gives me a little boost to the skin. It really smells like one of the e.l.f. mists. Yeah, there is a fragrance to that. Is it watermelony? Could be. It's nice though. It feels very refreshing and it smells very refreshing. And that's a great way if you think that you are looking a little bit too matte or your skin is feeling dry, which mine wasn't, but I just wanted to demo it to you. These are great for that, although I don't think it's going to do anything for the longevity of your makeup, but it's really nice just for a little refresh. So we have another product from the Soft Touch range, and this is the Bouncy Glow Highlighter. So I have this in the shade Soft Glaze. So this is a champagne sheen glow with a glass-like finish. You get 4 grams of product and it claims to be a cream to powder highlighter. Now, it feels beautiful and I love the look of it when it's on my finger, but it does have glitter in this. So you have to be a little careful with it. I don't think you'll be able to see the glitter there, but when I put it on my face, I can see glitter. I don't know if it's just in my head. All right, let's get it on. So for this, I'm going to use my Real Techniques Precision Fan Brush. I mean, it's a beautiful shade, but I definitely get glitter from it. I don't really like glittery highlighters, if I'm completely honest. And with skin like mine, you have to be extra careful. But this is a nice way to bring a little bit of just glow back to the skin, I guess. Now, it's not as chunky glittery, but there are little specks of glitter in there, but I do really like it. I'm really getting back into highlighter recently, and yeah, I've been enjoying it. I feel like this spring and summer, I'm going to be all over the highlight, for real. So yeah, I really like that. I would just be careful that there are little specks of glitter in it. Not chunky, but it's there. In terms of powder, you don't need to powder your under eyes with this concealer, I promise you. It's self-setting and it's a very soft matte finish. So honestly, if you can really avoid powdering that concealer, I would advise it. Now my under eyes look really good. I just don't know if you can see. I don't know. I always sound crazy when it comes to my under eyes because I say, oh, it sits into these lines and then you can't see it. Okay, you can't see it. So I don't feel like I need to powder my face. I'm so happy with the level of glow I have on my face. However, I did pick up this, which is the Essence Silky Blur Translucent Setting Powder, which matches obviously the Silky Blur line. So this retails for $4.59. Now, total transparency, I've only had this a day. So it was a last minute purchase. I didn't even know it was out. It's translucent, but it has a little bit of a pinky hue, I feel. Now, all I'm going to do is use this in kind of this area where I look excessively shiny under these lights. So I'm taking an old Morphe brush, don't know what it's called, it's old. And do you know what? It has a sticker on. And everyone said, if you don't want your powder to get crazy, leave the sticker on, just peel it back a bit. I did, and it's still a mess. I like this powder. It is finely milled, but not too finely milled. I sometimes find that finely milled powders can look dry. I don't know why. Am I a bit mad? Maybe I am. So just taking a tiny amount. In fact, BK Beauty M15. So I can't really comment much on this because I haven't tested it enough. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice powder. It's blurring. It's gently mattifying. It's not drying looking. I like it, but I need to test it more in order to really give you my opinion. So forgive me for that. I didn't know I was going to purchase it. So yeah, give me a few weeks and I'll let you know exactly what I think about this. But you know, so far so good. I have so many new Essence lip products, but I'm only going to talk about one lip liner and one lip product because there's just too many. Why do I look like I've been dragged through a hedge? Essence have brought out some new lip liners. These are the Pout Line Soft Glide Lip Pencils, €1. Yeah, how is that possible? How is that possible? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you that I feel like I've found the most perfect lip liner shade. I have been having such great success with lip liners recently, and I found some beautiful nude shades. So I bought this shade, Bare Affair, and then I went back and I bought another Bare Affair to keep in my handbag. So it's just a basic pencil, literal basic pencil. So Bare Affair is just a soft nude pink. So yeah, nothing truly innovative. It's just a basic lip pencil. But this shade is just everything. That's why I have to have two and I have to keep one on me at all times. For €1, I mean, what is happening here? I don't get it. And it's long lasting, it's creamy, but it's not too creamy. It's definitely not draggy. I mean, I try some €30 lip pencils and they are draggy on my lips. This isn't. It looks like a high-end lip liner and it's £1. So the product we're going to use on the actual lips, I also went back and bought another shade. So it's the Essence Juicy Balm Plumping Lip Gloss. First of all, not plumping as in tingling, not at all. Beautiful. These retail for $3.25. So there's 5 shades to choose from, and I have the shades Sweet Strawberry and also my favourite shade, which is Blossom Peach. Now, it doesn't particularly look very peachy when it's on. It kind of just looks like a beautiful nude pink. Now, they do have a fruity fragrance to them, and they are really small and compact. They have a typical doe foot applicator. It's all really, really tiny, and yeah, very, very fruity smelling, but not overpowering. So there's Peach Blossom and there's Sweet Strawberry. We're going to be using Peach Blossom today. These feel like pure silk on the lips. No stickiness. They just feel like a lip oil. They don't feel like a lip gloss, but they look like one. So there we are. A full face of new Essence. Honestly, this makeup is insane. I can't tell you how much I loved doing this video, and I've loved testing these products, and I can't even sit here and tell you which ones are my favorites. I love them. I mean, I know it sounds like I've been a bit harsh about some products. So for example, the concealer, I do like it. I think it looks really good. These concealers really show me up when I test them. But it's just, I just noticed by the end of the day a little bit of creasing. That's all. Just in this area, I still think it's a phenomenal concealer and I'll still use it, just like I still use my Charlotte Tilbury, because the benefits do outweigh the negatives. I think the only things that I would say to skip would be possibly this smoothing primer. I just don't know what it does really, other than gives me a touch more hydration. But do you know what? I have to say that I have liked my makeup when I've worn this. I'll have to test it with some more products, but I don't really know with that one. This rose palette, just think that the other eyeshadows from Essence are much better. The cream eyeshadows, that one and done, the mono eyeshadow glitter, it's not super glittery, and look at that impact. Look at that eyeshadow. How is this a couple of quid? I just don't get it. It's so, so good. Yeah, look, I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan of all this stuff. Essence literally can do no wrong right now for me. And another thing that I did mention in my Catrice video, so Essence are the sister brand to Catrice. They are not going to raise their prices in 2026 either, which is insane. At the minute, drugstore prices are through the roof. I mean, prices of everything are through the roof, but it's crazy. Essence are still giving us insane products, and a lot of them are less than €6. I mean, that foundation, look at my skin. And don't forget, most of their products are made in Italy as well. If you've been sleeping on Essence, come on, give them a whirl. You will not regret it. So do let me know, have you tried any of these products? Have you got any on your radar? Let me know everything. I think the majority of these products are out in the US, but if they're not, they will be soon. So don't panic. They'll be on their way. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.